Donald Trump got absolutely nuked by the victims and survivors of Jeffrey Epstein this week during their press conference that they held earlier this week. And so did Bill Clinton, right? He doesn't get a free pass, although Democrats do not have a godlike worship for Bill Clinton like the MAGA freaks do for Donald Trump. So if Clinton goes down, good. Like, we want him to. We're not trying to defend or protect him. We want him to go down. But yes, one of the victims did mention that she was taken on a trip to Africa and Bill Clinton accompanied them. But that woman also told another story after that, right? She throws Bill Clinton out there and then she says, quote, Epstein surrounded himself with the most powerful leaders of our country and the world. He bragged about his powerful friends, including our current president, Donald Trump. It was his biggest brag, actually. Epstein's biggest brag forever was that he was very good friends with Donald Trump. He had an 8x10 framed picture of him on his desk with the two of them. They were very close. Now, none of these victims implied in any way that either Bill Clinton or Donald Trump engaged in any of the abuse. Just they were there, right? So that's an important distinction to make. But at the same time, these women have also not accused anyone yet of engaging in the abuse. So that could come later. The fact that they have decided just within the last week to finally come forward to present this united front. They talked to NBC News. They did the press conference. They talked to members of Congress behind closed doors. All of this signals a shift in this particular scandal. Because those women, the only person who knew better what was going on is Ghislaine Maxwell. And I'm talking about the people that were alive now. Ghislaine Maxwell knows, but she's going to be tight-lipped. She's gotten everything she wants from Donald Trump. The last thing she needs is a pardon right now. I mean, that's the last thing on her list that she needs. I'm not saying the last thing she needs, but these women, the victims, they know it just as well as Maxwell does. And they're not looking for anything. They're not looking for pardons or, presidential favors. They're looking for justice. They're looking to finally see these men in power that abused them for years held to account. That's what they want, because they were denied justice with Jeffrey. They're being denied justice with Maxwell. This is the last form of justice they can get. The public shaming and humiliation of these men. But as I said, that wasn't the only one. Another victim called out Donald Trump. She denounced him for calling the Epstein files a hoax and called on him to recognize that the victims are human beings whose suffering should not be minimized. That was victim Haley Robson who said that. And yes, on that same day, Donald Trump had come out and said that the Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax, as these victims were pouring their hearts out to members of Congress. And then later, of course, in that press conference, a Democrat hoax. With his attack on the scandal itself, which by extension is an attack on the victims, Donald Trump is not doing himself any favors. So if these women have any information about him, the more he pisses them off, the more likely it is they're going to release it. So, very dumb move by Donald Trump, thinking that insulting the scandal and again, by extension, insulting the victims is going to work out in his favor. It's absolutely not. If anything, it's going to give them even more kind of momentum to come after you with everything they have. And based on what we've seen with Trump's reaction, I think these women have a lot of information about Donald Trump. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.